Good morning, my loves. Happy Saturday. Beautiful day here at the lake. You can hear Finn talking in the background. He always has an opinion. High today is in the 90s again, which is, it's never this chilly. Yes, 90s in Arizona, it can be considered chilly. It's usually at least 110 by now. So this is a lake view this morning. It is just glorious out there. It's going to be a lovely weekend. Earlier today, I posted some stuff on social media that is already getting, I posted it at 5:30 and it's already getting I'm getting a lot of comments in my DMs and a few, online. And so it's on both of my Facebook, my personal and professional Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn. Am I leaving something out? Oh, and this of course will be on YouTube. So the post is about PTSD. Now, we hear PTSD and everybody automatically jumps to violence, of course, whether that's combat veterans, people who have been involved in violent crime. But this is about children. Yeah, kiddos. I want you to think back, and this may really trigger some people, but that's why I'm saying it, honey. Think back to your childhood. How was it? I know a handful of people, and I do mean a handful, who grew up in just idyllic, wonderful homes. There wasn't fighting or violence. Everybody loved each other. They just had a beautiful childhood. God bless them, Not everybody was that blessed. For those raised in a toxic environment, and that includes violence, parent against parent, parent against a child, kids against kids, people hitting the pets, punching holes in the wall, addictions, people that drink, do drugs, people that just walk out and abandon the family. They just walk out. You don't know when they're coming back. They may be back tonight, they may be back in 2 weeks. Yeah. And I mean parents walking out on children. No adult in the house. They just walk out. Leave the kids alone. May or may not be food in the house. Yeah. Parents that are in and out of jail. Yeah. This causes huge trauma to kids. And that's PTSD. PTSD, you think of, combat, people involved in the war. To a 3-year-old being raised in a home with violence, drugs, alcohol, abuse, screaming and yelling. They may or may not have food. That's their own war zone. That is their own war zone. And sweetheart, if you were raised like that, you deserve better. I promise you, you deserve better. And it is okay for you to say, God damn it, I deserve better. Because you do. Absolutely, you do. And if you were raised in if you were raised in that environment, I want you to break the cycle. Do not carry that forward into your life now. Don't raise your kids that way. I know parenting is a learned behavior. So the way your parents disciplined you was probably the way they were disciplined. Is that how you discipline your kids? I was talking to somebody the other day whose parent would get mad at them and spank them with an object, with a belt or a fly swatter or whatever. And so they, in turn, when they had kids, they hit their kids with a yardstick. Yeah, left marks on their kids. Messed up family. The kids are now adults. They want nothing at all to do with their parents. Nothing. At all. Haven't heard from them in years, and they won't because they're pissed. They realize they deserve better. They didn't raise their kids like this. You sure as hell shouldn't have been hitting us. And that's true. Now, yeah, I remember, I think my mom swatted me on the leg I remember 1 or 2 times that she would swat me on the leg. But that's it. I was not spanked. My son, when he was growing up, keep in mind my son is now 47. I never raised a hand to him. because I remembered what that felt like. Never did it, never raised a hand to him. And to the best of my knowledge, he's never spanked my granddaughter. Of course, she's now 14 and, is above that. But yeah, I'm not into violence. Think about your childhood and what you experienced. How horrible that was. Maybe you were molested, raped. You remember laying in bed in the dark, curling up into a tiny, tiny ball, covering yourself with the blankets and pillows because maybe if they stepped in the room, they didn't see you. Listening for the footsteps, for that crack in the door, for the door to open, that creak, and the hell that would ensue right after. The threats if you told. Maybe you experienced somebody torturing or beating your pet. Yeah. These are core wounds, honey. These are wounds that are so deep, they cut you to your core, and you're going to carry them with you the rest of your life. And sometimes you'll hear something, you'll smell something. Just, it'll pop in your head and it will trigger you. You might get angry, you might get scared, just really emotional. You don't know why, because something triggered you. And believe it or not, I have found one of the biggest triggers is smell. Yeah. I have worked with a lot of rape victims, victims of trafficking, prostitution, things like that. And for people that have been, especially children that have been raped and they can't remember a lot, they can remember the smell. The smell will stick with them, and that's how you can generally, and the police know this, that's one of the biggest ways you can figure out who the predator was. What did they smell like? Yeah. Smells will trigger you. Just think about your childhood. The good, the bad, the horrific, the things you've suppressed, because, your brain is pretty smart, and it will shove stuff in the corner and lock the door, the things that are just too painful for you to remember. You're just not ready to remember it yet. In time, when you're ready. But all of this, my love, is PTSD for a child. Kids raised in violence. Kids raised coming home from school, mom and dad or whoever may or may not be there. If they're there, they may be high, they may be drunk, they may be doing God only knows what on the sofa when these kids walk in. There may or may not be food in the house. They may or may not have running water or electricity, and they have homework. The parent's response, not my problem, figure it out. They may or may not have appropriate clothes for the weather, and the parents don't care. And then they go to school. Homework isn't done, their clothes are dirty, they smell. Kids picking on them. Maybe the kid, instead of being bullied, they're the bully. It's not right, it's not fair, and if you grew up like this, I'm sorry. You deserve so much better. And what I want you to do, don't laugh at me, I'm serious about this. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to see yourself today as an adult. Bend down and hug that 5-year-old, 3-year-old you. Just give them the biggest squeeze you can and say, it's okay. I've got this. You don't need to carry this burden anymore. I'm a grown-up now. I've got this. You can rest. That will actually help you release some of the trauma. Because when you're triggered, when all of that starts to flood back, you don't feel it as an adult. You may be 45, 50, 60 years old when you're triggered, and all of a sudden you're experiencing that trauma again as a 3-year-old. Take the burden away. Just close your eyes, give that little one a big hug and a kiss on the forehead and say, sweetie, it's okay, I've got this. Your job's done. I've got this now. It's okay. Because you deserve to heal. I don't want you dragging all of that baggage all through your life. You deserve to empty the bag out. Deal with it. Face it. It's not going to be fun. Face it. Deal with it and let the wound heal. And those wounds are like an abscess. They're deep and they're nasty, but you have to clean out all the infection, all the gunk, and it has to heal from the inside out, from the bottom up. Yeah, same with core wounds. But you deserve to heal. Maybe you're an addict today. Maybe you're an alcoholic, a gambler. Maybe you're addicted to sex, porn. Maybe you're violent, in and out of jail. Think back to why. And we're not pointing fingers and casting blame. We're just figuring out the problem so that we can break the cycle. Because you're worthy of that. Your kids are worthy of that. Break the cycle. Let's figure out what the hell is going on and let it heal. Nobody deserved to treat you that way. Ever. And in turn, I don't want you repeating those behaviors. I don't want you treating other people the way you were treated. No one deserved that. Remember how horrible and humiliated and broken you felt when it was you? Don't wish that on anybody else. Let's break the cycle. Let's start the healing because you're worthy. Don't care how old you are. I don't care where you are. When you hear this, you could be having coffee at the breakfast table. You could be in rehab. You could be in jail. Honey, don't care. You deserve to heal. I promise you, you deserve to heal. You have the rest of your life to live and to be happy and healthy. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. You don't have to be 60 years old carrying childhood PTSD or adult PTSD. You are worthy of healing. You are worthy of love and respect and dignity, feeling safe in your own skin, safe in your own life. But it has to start with you. Think about it. There's a lot of people, just like me, that are in this world to help you. Absolutely, positively. And you're worthy. You're very worthy. Don't doubt that. You're worthy. I wish you well. I wish you healing, and I wish you love.